Hey guys, it is Brido here, and welcome back to our Liverpool Career Mode series. This is episode 14, and in today's episode we have 3 games for you. 2 are actually games of Denmark, so it's a little bit more of a Denmark episode than a Liverpool episode, but we still have one very important game for Liverpool to start off this episode, and that is against Arsenal in the League Cup. This is the semi-final second leg. We've already played the first leg at the Emirates Stadium. That was a 0-0 draw. We're back at Anfield now, hopefully going to turn the tide. But as you can see, it's raining, my favorite type of weather to play in. I started up this one and I'm like, oh, this is great. I am super excited to play this game now because I thought, okay, going back to Anfield, things are going to be good. We're going to have, the advantage of playing at home, and as well, it's going to be a nice day. We're going to be able to get plenty of goals. Everything's going to go A-okay. Well, this kind of, it kind of throws a wrench in my plans. For whatever reason, when I play in the rain, it really... they talk about the fact that it's easier for you to score in the rain. Well, it's also really easy as well to be scored on. And for me, when I play in the rain, it just makes my defense turn into a shambles. It makes me turn into a shambles more than anything. Not able to control, and it just gets all... it gets really dangerous. That's what happens. So this game, I wanted to not give away the away goal in this one. And right away, there's a great opportunity for Arsenal to get that very early away goal that I was talking about there. But they're not able to capitalize on the great free kick opportunity. And here we get a chance for ourselves. The ball falls to Lewandowski. He takes a shot. Suarez just almost in the way of the offside call there, but it doesn't touch him, and he's able to put that one away. We get the 1-0 lead at this point. Kind of a little bit of against the flow of play, but we're still quite happy with this. And with the rain being the way it was, and like I said, my defensive game being the way it is, I really decided when we got that 1-0 lead pretty early on in this one that we're just going to try and play the best defensive game that we possibly could. And you can see from the first half chances here that really the chances that Arsenal did get, they got that one really great free kick opportunity. But besides from that, they were either headers into the box or they were long range shots that Leno was able to handle quite well. So we were, really trying to play the best, defensive game that we could because we had the 1-0 lead. We knew that if we gave that one more goal up, it would pretty much, it would be a disaster because then we'd need to score another one. And in that whole thing where the away goal counts for a little bit more, it can get quite gruesome, especially when you start giving them up. So the goal was just to not give any up. And you can see, starting up the second half, they did get similar opportunities, longer shots. Here's another one as well, and Leno was able to handle that one quite well. So we were able to keep things going in the right manner here. 67th minute comes along, they get a nice chance off the corner here, but we were able to clear it out. So they're getting the opportunities, they're getting the chances, but they're really not working out to being that much. And Leno, when it did hit him, when it did go towards him, he was able to handle the opportunities. And here at the 70th minute, we get an opportunity, against the grain of play once again. But Asadi there gets the goal for us, the second goal of the game. So, like I said, we pulled a couple quick ones out there, pulled a couple nice goals out. Szczesny didn't really have much to say on either one, and that led to us having a 2-0 lead at this point. We even could give up a goal at this point. But we still tried to just play good defensively. Here's another chance. Suarez of an opportunity. Great save by Szczesny there. First real save for him of the game. So yeah, we were able to create a couple more opportunities as the game wore down. We were feeling a little bit more confident at this point because we got those 2 goals. Didn't have to worry about it as much because, like I said, with the 1 goal lead, that really wasn't that much of a lead. They could take the 1 goal for them. That would lead to them actually winning the game if we weren't able to score in extra time. Here's one more chance for us as it falls right to Suarez. Once again, just goes over the bar. And the 90th minute here, they get their own last opportunity of the game as they come in. Podolski here kind of breaks away from Kelly, gets an opportunity to shoot, saved by Leno. And so at this point, like I said, 90th minute, things are slowing down. The game's essentially at its end point. They bring up Szczesny trying to score one to get themselves back in this one. And there you can see Mertesacker actually gets the goal. A little bit of a funny run over there to his buddy. But yeah, they get the goal here to possibly make this one dangerous late on. But luckily for us, actually, this game does end at 2-1. So we had maybe a little bit of a late time scare there. But the thing was that the game at this point was pretty much closed down at the 90th minute. We gave ourselves the opportunity to have one slip up. We did have that slip up, but we did win the game. So with that said, guys, we are now moving on to the final of the League Cup. Really excited to play that game, and it's going to be against Chelsea as Chelsea beat Southampton 5-0. So they gave them a walloping, and hopefully we're not going to be playing at Stamford Bridge. We're going to be playing at Wembley, so we're not going to have to worry about, like I said, my little errors that I've had at Stamford Bridge in the past, but still going to be a tough matchup against Chelsea, as they're one of the best teams in the league at this point. I believe actually they're the team leading the league at this moment, so they are a tough challenge to face off against, and we're going to have to definitely give our best if we're going to want to win the League Cup and repeat as the champions of that trophy. And the thing too, actually, we didn't start up the Euros or the Champions League this season, and the reason for that is I didn't want to do that, because I remember in the past, you wouldn't even have it at all. They give you the option now. They could choose which ones you wanted to have, which teams you wanted to have. I thought about possibly doing that, but I wanted to keep this season a little bit more simple, and then, teams could automatically get into their spots, through the way it was in previous FIFA iterations. So, if that's, kind of the positive of us moving on and getting into the Champions League, because then we get that Champions League spot. But if not, we're looking at potentially, even if we lose this matchup against Chelsea, that they're probably going to make the Champions League, so they'd be giving up their EuroLeague spot. So we probably are going to be looking at a EuroLeague spot either way. But here, moving on though, after this game against Arsenal, we're going to move now to the international break, where we have 2 games in store for us. We're playing as Denmark, as we signed that contract a couple months ago in the game. And what this means is that we're going to play against Finland and Austria as well. You can see that we're lower on the table there, but we're moving ahead as well, and we're moving to the end of the transfer deadline here. We made all our business pretty much. There was a couple things, couple loose ends. We wanted to get a little bit more money to use for the youth squad, because we have no scouts at this point. So that's one of the goals that we had in this transfer window, trying to see if we could bring something in there. You can see Adel Taarabt actually moves to Aston Villa, which was probably the biggest move of the transfer window in the Barclays Premier League. Here you can see that we get an offer from Aston Villa as well. They're big spenders this period. They were selling him for £550,000 there. Not a massive fee, but that's around his value, so I decided to accept the deal, and we went along with doing that one there. So actually, a good amount of spending. And there you can see Adrian Ramos also going to West Brom, which is a pretty big signing for them. They really need it as well, because they're bottom of the table, which is a little bit surprising, because they've obviously been doing pretty good as well in real life. So maybe they'll be able to pull something out later on, but they're probably doomed for the drop this season. There you can see as well, we have 4 goalkeepers at this point, but we actually loaned one out. I'm not going to say his name right, but Galassi, he's loaned out to Carlisle United, my other series I'm doing. So we give away Donny, and then we also loan out one of our goalkeepers. So 2 of our goalkeepers are now gone, and we still have 2 left, which is fine. It's a little bit of a risky thing, because now if one gets injured, we don't have another backup, but I don't really feel too worried about that. There you can see with the money from those 2, the transfers, Galaxy, we really weren't getting that much money from him, but we still giving him a chance to play a little bit more. And the Donny transfer there gave us enough money that we're able to bring in a 3-star scout, which isn't the best in the world, but I mean, in the next transfer window coming up in the summer, we're going to have more money, hopefully, from making the Champions League. Hopefully, just in general, we'll have enough to make our moves, make our decisions going forward, but we'll also have enough to bring in a 5-star scout, which will really get that rolling. But for the meantime, a 3-star scout, we'll hopefully bring in a couple good guys. He didn't cost that much either, so we'll have him floating around, then we'll bring in that even better scout in the future. So yeah, we're going to move on now though to our first game of the international break, and that is against Finland here. Now this is a pretty important game for us, because both these teams are at the bottom of our group, and we really need to win this one. Here you can see the actual group exactly as is. We're dead bottom, -8 goal differential, 0 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. We have this game, Austria, and then we have 2 more in the next window, and then I think 2 more after that, along with 1 or 2 more. I'm kind of throwing the numbers around there, but we have an opportunity to still make the World Championships, or whatever it is called. I know it's not the actual name of the World Cup, but we still have an opportunity to make that one. But it's really slim, like I said. Taking this job is kind of just, the opportunity to play with an international team. The opportunity to actually go to one of these tournaments is pretty slim, because with Denmark, they, really blew their chance of making it quite early on in this one without even, only picking up 1 point. And they really did have good opportunities, too, to pick up points. But in this game, though, this was a quite slow game for me, because I wasn't familiar with the team. But Christian Eriksen was definitely a highlight. He's a little bit of a dynamo in that center attacking mid role there. There you can see he gets a nice header in, and we get the 1-0 lead at this point. Finland was a good opposition. I really liked them. That was one of the teams that we could have potentially picked up. They never actually made an official offer, but they were considered to be one of the teams that might offer for us. So it was interesting seeing playing against them in our first game. But yeah, no, I like Denmark quite a bit, but there are definitely weaknesses in them. They're, compared to playing as Liverpool, they are a step down. They're a 4-star team. Nicholas Bentner up front is the best and pretty much only striker that Denmark has, as of the mid to high 70s caliber. And he feels awkward up front, to say the least. It's not the best scenario that I've had thus far with the strikers. So it's going to be hard to get goals, I really think, with this team. You can see him falling over as well. Eriksen's a real treat. I really enjoy him. So it's really nice to see how he's playing. And obviously we're going to be looking at that center attacking mid role in the future. I kind of alluded to that, Eriksen may not be the guy because he's quite expensive. But, playing this game and playing the game against Austria, I really got a taste of what he's all about. And he is extremely quick. I think if he was, surrounded by a little bit better players, some players that could really, complement his game, and they can, he could complement theirs, it'd be a really great matchup. But again, that's, just speculation talk, because it's nice, like I said, to play with a player before actually taking them onto your team with a transfer. So you can see as the game's winding down here, Finland starts to get a couple more opportunities, but the highlights are pretty slim for this one. There wasn't, a massive amount of chances either way in this game. We both did get our opportunities. We did get the one goal in this one, but the game will wind down. We will get the win here, so this will be our first win with Denmark, and it's a nice win definitely to have, because like I said, they really need the wins. It's going to take a lot though, like I said, to make it, and we're going to pretty much have to sweep our games. We're going to have the exceptions that when we play the Netherlands, we're going to probably lose that game, but besides from that, we have maybe a room for one, maybe two slip-ups. But against teams like Turkey and Czech Republic, we cannot slip up. We need to win those games if we have any chance of making the World Championships or whatever it is called. Those are the two teams that are going to be, fighting for the spots. And you can see Czech Republic drawing that game is perfect. Turkey at 9 points, Czech Republic at 8 points, Austria at 6. So we got a ways to climb, but we got a game against Austria coming up as well. And hopefully we can pick up some points against them too. We're going to move right ahead to our Austria game here, but it was good to get the win against Finland. It was an interesting thing for me, at least. I've never played with Denmark before in any FIFA game, or maybe I have, but it's been a long time. Probably a World Cup game way back when I might have. But, in the most recent versions, I haven't given them a go, so I'm not overly familiar with their team, and I kind of take it for granted, but I've played so much with Liverpool now that I really know the players that we have, even guys like Alaba there that we brought in. I know what type of roles they can play, and it's a really nice thing to have, because if we got guys on the bench that I feel like can bring extra spark to the game, I know which ones to choose. I know what type of players can do certain types of roles, and it gives me the ability to really pick a strong starting 11, kind of know, okay, we're going into this game, we need more of a defensive lineup. We can put this player in instead of that player, and make decisions regarding that. For the first game against Finland, it was kind of in the dark regarding a lot of that, so it's still a filling out process, and going into the game against Austria, I had a little bit of a better idea with what some of our players can do, but still, again, trying to get an understanding for it. I liked what a lot of the players brought to the table. We really do not have a strong, sub bench. We do have a couple good players that can play a role, but it's something that we're going to have to not heavily rely on. We're going to have to use the players that we have, our first team players, as much as possible, especially with the international play only being about a week or so. We can really take advantage of the players that we have. So in the game against Austria here, we did get some opportunities, but the Finland game was quiet. The Finland game didn't have that many highlights. The Austria game was even more so like that. We did get a couple here pretty early on. The game was actually quite lively, but as you can see here, we jump right ahead to the second half at this point because there was no great opportunities. I cutting the filler out essentially because there wasn't any real shots on net. There was plenty of interesting chances building and forming, but they didn't really create into anything there. And there you can see the possession was quite in our favor. We did get some good chances like you saw in the highlights there, but nothing really came of it, and it was unfortunate because we're really trying to get the goal here because in the game against Finland we got that not too early of a goal, but a goal around the 35th minute mark or so, and that was a nice little cushion to have for the rest of the game. There was a shot from Zimling that I thought was going to be one for us, but unfortunately it just went wide. And as you can see, the time ran out here. We're down to the 84th minute. The great chance for Eriksson there to get the goal for us, but he's unable to do it. Then we get one more chance to clear out the field as quick as we can, but we're not able to get it done. And in this game, like I said, not very many chances. You can see the little highlights that there were. We did get a couple good opportunities to put one away, but we just weren't able to do it. And this results in us getting a draw, which feels like a loss because we felt like, Austria is probably a better team than Finland, but we could have taken the win here, really needed the win. With that said, the chances of us probably making the World Championships are now slim to none. We are about 6 points back, it seems, of the Czech Republic, the one team that we could catch. But we only have 4 games left. One of them is against the Czech Republic, but we're probably going to have to sweep all of our games, which are against Turkey, Finland, Netherlands, and the Czech Republic. You guys can see the schedule at the end of this episode just to know exactly when our games will be. But that's it for this one, though, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. There'll be another episode coming up soon. I'm going to hopefully have it up for tomorrow late my time. If not, it'll be up the next day. And it'll be all about Liverpool once again, so stay tuned for that. And once again, guys, thanks for all the support. Thanks for watching the series, and I hope you enjoyed.